Perfect. All right. That's good dancing.
Thank you.
That's really good dancing.
There's only so much you can do in a chair.
I think you've just done all of it. All right, here we are, Myles and Dan, back again this week. Random word of the day. We're chatting nonsense about relationships.
That's the one.
Isn't that right, Dan?
It is. Full on.
I'm Myles, he's
Live.
Dan.
Sorry?
I said I'm Myles, he's Dan. It was obvious when I said, "Isn't that right, Dan?"
Yeah.
And also, it's labelled, isn't it?
It's pretty much. I mean, if they haven't worked it out by now, they're never going to work it out, mate. You might as well just leave them to it.
We're really committing to a practical joke if we've switched our names around.
It was, yeah. I'd love to think that we would go that far. That it's been like 5 years, and then we just go. Really, it was the other way around. It was just we just started off as a joke, and it just snowballed. It just couldn't stop.
And it's like exclusively people that already knew us that are watching as well.
Yeah.
And then by the end, they're like, did they tell us the wrong names as well?
But yeah, they just and no one ever bothered to ask us. We just stuck to it, stuck to our guns.
Well, that's why we made ourselves so unapproachable. I've just had a visitor. Speaking of relationships,
it's the most delightful relationship you have.
Absolutely, although his head keeps moving. No, hello, buddy.
He's a virtual cat. That's why it's just CGI.
This is my son.
This is just Raymundo.
Say hello to everyone.
Look at those brows.
Oh, his mum's home. He's got to go.
Oh, he's got to go. See ya.
He's got to go. He really makes you feel loved when you get home. But actually, he wants to escape.
Yeah.
But he makes you feel like he's come to see you when you get home from being out. And you can convince yourself of it too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You have to grab him as he runs, and then you hold him up, and you're like squirm, and you're like, "Oh yes, I love you too."
As you desperately try and get out the door.
Exactly.
Yeah, a bit of sort of Stockholm syndrome type thing.
I think so. Yeah.
Lima syndrome, actually, it's called, where the people who are holding the person hostage fall in love with the hostage.
Does it actually have a name, or I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, Lima syndrome. It's the opposite. So Stockholm syndrome would be where the hostage falls in love with starts to have affection for the people who've taken them hostage, and then Lima syndrome is the other way around, where the hostage taker falls in love with the person that they've taken hostage. So basically,
in Sweden, kidnappers are very charming.
Yeah.
But in Peru, the kidnapped victims are very charming.
Yeah. I think that's I think that was how it came about. It was a bit of a stereotype, wasn't it? There were several people in Lima, I think, who just ended up trying to make friends with the hostages, and they all escaped. And a lot of people were imprisoned and probably executed.
Sure, absolutely. And and what happened to the kidnappers? I don't know. Is it something that these places are proud of? Like, is there a road sign like "Now entering Lima, home of Lima syndrome"? Do you know?
I don't know that for a fact. I mean, if America's anything to go by, then they definitely should.
Yeah.
You can't go past a sign in America without knowing it's the home of whatever thing that they've managed to plaster their name on.
Yeah.
West Virginia, home of tobacco.
I think, I think Lima needs some help with the PR though. Because I think everyone knows Stockholm syndrome. I've never heard of Lima syndrome before.
They probably think, well, we've got the beans. We can't want to take all of the... We don't want to take all of them.
But how come the beans are called Lima?
Lima. I think that's... it was just the first guy who ever said it on the radio. And he's like, come on down and get these lima beans. And all the people from Peru were like...
Can we correct you?
Yeah.
We're still getting the sales from the beans, and the beans are popular. So it's like is what we're looking for like a commercially viable business, or will we actually just in the bean train for fame? And then there was a sort of like a big moral quandary. There was a massive quandary. And then like half the town are like, no, what's the point of producing all these beans if no one knows they're ours? And the other are like, well, I'm putting my kids through school. I don't mind. No skin off my nose.
Which is exactly how we ended up being called Myles and Dan as well.
Yeah.
It was just a mistake. They introduced. They said Myles and Dan, and I was the first one. Well, you were the first one to go out on the stage. So you were like, "Well, I'll have to be Myles now because I was the first person to go on the stage."
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, and my name's really Don, and you were like, "Oh, well, I guess I'm Dan now." That's not even either of our names.
Yeah. It's a shame, really, but we've made such a success of it. It'd be ridiculous of us to change our names now.
Absolutely. Hey, did you have a good Christmas period?
I did have a good Christmas period. I just just before we came on air, I went for a world record attempt. Sadly scuppered, but
was it okay? World record. Was it the most board games played in 24 hours?
No, but that would be good. But I think I wouldn't. There's no way with the amount of thinking I like to do in between each move that I would ever be able to do it in time.
Really? Okay.
I could probably play them for the longest amount of time without sleep. I reckon I could do like a marathon. Maybe we will do that one day. Maybe that's a future charity event for us.
We can only hope.
I tried to eat 3 mince pies in the world record time, and my arrogance at thinking that I could do so was insurmountable.
I mean, what like the world record must be infinitesimal. Dan, it must be very.
When I heard it, I thought it was doable, and then I tried it and realised it wasn't doable.
8 seconds.
No, much more than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
But do you have can you put all 3 together and go straight in?
Yeah. I think,
or do you have to go one?
I think you can do it however you want, but you try sticking 3 mince pies in your mouth at one time, mate. I went straight in. I went straight in with one, got the second one in, and I was clagged up for a good minute.
Oh no, you had a clagging.
It got claggy and
you got clagged. Yeah. What? So what was the record then? 16 seconds.
53 seconds.
No way.
And exactly. So I thought to myself, I've got a big gob and I like mince pies. I'm going to try this. We got Linford Christie around here, the camera crew, everything.
Where is this record reported? On Guinness?
Well, yeah, it's the world record for it. I don't know if it is Guinness, but if you type in 3 mince pies world record, it's 53 seconds.
Look, I'm not going to question you, but I'm questioning Guinness. I think.
You are. It's just no interrogation aspect. You're not questioning my truthfulness, but you are questioning why.
I believe that what you're saying is the thing that you have learned, but I'll eat 6
in 53 seconds.
48. I'll eat 6.
I mean, you're putting it out there, mate. If you want to do it live next week.
Yeah, I might have to wait till next week. Don't think I couldn't do it right now.
No, you save yourself up. You get 6 in, and we'll see how many you do in 48 seconds, mate. Because I
think I should go back to 3.
Okay, you're going back to 3. Well, we'll have another record attempt.
Look, I'll just break someone else's record before you go and break your own, Miles. Still to myself.
Oh, you did. Sorry, because you were looking at me.
Yeah. I'll break. I mean, what did you get it in?
So I managed to do 2 in 1 minute and 15 seconds.
You're chewing too slowly, mate. What?
No, first off,
that 2 in 1 minute 15. That's before I even knew there was a record.
My advice to you, speaking as somebody who's tried to do it, is don't just cram that first one right in your mouth.
Interesting.
Small, slow and steady. I'd go half, chew, swallow, if I had my time again. which I could very well do because there's no shortage of mince pies.
Mate, it's only 53 seconds. I'm sure you'll find another allotment.
I'm a bit busy.
Yeah. Are you allowed to drink water as you go?
I didn't look at the conditions that the world record was met in.
I think I'll be able to have a 15-second break in between the two.
Mate.
Oh no, there's 3. Sorry, forget that. 5 seconds between each.
It is the Guinness World Records, set in 2019. Reported Guinness World Records, world records, fastest time to eat
mince pies. Sainsbury-sized mince pies.
Yeah, and it was achieved by Leah Shutkever. So she's the world record holder, 52.21 actually.
That's impressive.
And it was achieved in London as well.
That's amazing. And people always say women can't eat mince pies as fast as men. Well, Leah showed them.
It's been making. I mean, it makes you sick, doesn't it, when you hear somebody saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm a bloke, I can eat loads of mince pie," just like I did, really, just then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, but really, they're just as good as us in those aspects, obviously.
Better, even.
Better, yeah. Technically, yeah, I suppose. We don't know if there was a man second there. There might have been, but she's a competitive eater, so.
Well, I'll say.
Not just competitive, she's a winner.
She didn't just. It wasn't just a Christmas, and she's got a cousin, Leo, there from. I stole that name from Seinfeld. From who works for Guinness, but it's Christmas or whatever, and they're just sitting around and it's not even like. There's not even the focus. They're actually opening presents at the time, and little nephew. Martin was opening his little train set or whatever, and Leo's focused on that, and just over Martin's shoulder he sees Leo and Leo went for. Okay.
Yeah. I thought that's what you were doing, but it's
no. And then he's just like, Leo, is that your third mince pie? And he checks his watch. He's gone, you've just broken the world record.
I like the idea of the man, the person who works for Guinness knows all of the world records and they're constantly aware of it all the time.
I think so, yeah.
Constantly checking the watch, going, "Oh, we just missed it. We nearly did it. We got here in record time, nearly." But
yeah, just everything he does, like he gives the kids a colouring in book and he checks his watch. Still not done. Oh, well.
Valiant attempt. Never mind. But little do they know that as his side quest in his life, he's planning one of the longest ones. He's actually been doing something for an inordinate amount of time, and we don't know what it is yet. He's going to reveal it on his deathbed, and then the last thing he's going to do is just click the stopwatch and go, "That's it." And then we're never going to know, and it's going to be a mystery, and his family are going to have to group together. They could probably make a whole Netflix series out of it.
But he's going to go, missed by 10 seconds. And then he's dead. I don't know why he makes a gag reflex.
He copes. I mean, yeah, he's well, they were strangling him at the time.
Yeah. So close.
And they were actually going for a record for the longest strangling of all time. But
yeah. But
what are you going to do?
He was like, if I can't have a record, you can't have a record.
What have we got? What we got? Relationship stuff. What are we talking about today?
I don't know. Relationships quite a. Actually, before we get to that, I just wanted to tell you a Christmas cracker joke that I got on Christmas.
In the post, or did you?
In the post, yeah, it got sent over. Yeah, it's tradition. Mum always sends over a few Christmas cracker jokes. This was actually inside a Christmas cracker that I had cracked with someone else, not alone.
Is that the verb?
I don't know. If they're called crackers, surely you crack them.
No, you don't. You pull them.
You what?
You pull them.
You pull them and then they crack. They're not mutually exclusive. I'm
I
not
think you can only
still pulling it. Is that what you do at Christmas? You go, come pull this crack with me, and then when it explodes, you go, fuck. I was
Yeah, I expect
that.
it to be a never-ending motion. I almost said then, you can only do one type of verb with each object. I nearly said those words then. But luckily I backed out of it just at the last moment. So
we still know. Anyway, however I came about it, it had this this joke inside of it. That's a good one. What ship has two mates but no captain?
What ship has two mates but no captain? Friendship.
Yeah, it was a relationship.
Relationship. Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, which is.
I thought it was. Okay.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. So I brought that up because it was to do with what we're talking about now, not because it was something that I wanted. It was a trick. Threw you off my scent.
Yeah,
I was like, well, let's not
get
into relationships. I need to tell you something different, and then we'll do it. But actually, the thing I had to tell you was about relationships. It was a little trick. Sorry to toy with you like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm like.
I was taught. Yeah, you're the original prankster. You actually were before the offspring. But how have you the relationships picture that you've crafted for us is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's two fingerprints.
Yeah.
With like doodles on them.
Yeah, I think they that's you and I.
Okay.
And that is your actual fingerprint, which I lifted whilst you were sleeping last night.
That is. I mean, I've given you plenty of things over the years. You could have just dusted them and got a print, but you.
I wanted to see you in your place as well, so I just snuck in, took a print, ate a few mince pies.
What can I say?
2 seconds.
7 months of idle threats from me. It was bound to happen eventually. You were going to come round without being invited.
Yeah. I had to take matters into my own hand. Hand? Just took it into my own hand.
Into my own hand.
The other
into your own hand.
Alanis Morissette style. Yeah. So, and I think that's just we're in love. I guess is I'm talking about the picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
of course.
The heart.
I mean, we are as well in real life, but
that's true as well. We don't hold hands.
I think it's interesting that you. I mean, I'm presuming with your new hair that you're the fingerprint on the left with the quiff.
Yeah, I've got to get quiffy, don't I? Yeah.
Yeah. And I've gone mad and just put loads of flowers in my hair, and I either seem to have pulled out some of my hair and wrapped it around a stick that I'm about to give you, or you've given me some more flowers to add to my bouquet hair.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I'll be honest, like I hadn't seen you for a few days and I was just drawing it and I was like, fuck, what does Dan's hair look like? I was like, I can't remember. Does he have hair? Like I blanked. I honestly blanked and I was like, flowers. Put flowers in there instead. Everyone loves flowers in their hair if they have hair. If not, glue them, whatever. And then, yeah, that's actually just your. They're your fingers, and you've got hair. You've got a hairy finger, so it's not actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My arm appears to be broken as well at the wrist. There's something. It's not right. The talk that's coming off that, but I can see. I'm sort of just smelling my fingers. Yeah, that lines up with my idea of myself.
Good. I had thought so. Yeah, I thought so. So yeah, that's. I mean, it just captures you and I perfectly, doesn't it? That image.
It's beautiful.
If I do say so myself.
Beautiful.
But I thought to kick things off, because I know you've always been someone who's really into sort of celebrity culture and gossip and tabloids, paparazzi, that sort of stuff. Like
right, yeah.
You love that sort of reality TV, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, all that sort of stuff. You've always loved that. But I thought to start things off, we would just pay our respects with a little in memorandum of all the celebrity relationships that didn't make it through 2020.
Ah, amazing! It feeds perfectly into my first little bit.
Oh,
So
good.
that's mind meld.
Good.
That.
So, I mean, we'll add some sort of emotional music in the edit.
Afterwards,
In the
after the
edit,
fact, yeah, of course, yeah. If you can, like the Oscars music with
exactly.
the
Yeah.
memorandum stuff,
So,
yeah, perfect.
and there's more than I'm gonna I'm gonna read off. It's been a tough year, so not everyone can make it through, but we'll just we'll pay our respects to some of the big heavy hitters.
Yeah,
the big names. So here we go. We had Gillian Anderson and Peter Morgan. Sadly ended their 4-year relationship.
Peter Morgan.
So Peter Morgan is the writer and creator of The Crown. So evidence that you shouldn't work with your significant other, because obviously Gillian joined the cast season 4. And
didn't work out.
Things came to an end, so that's sad. Moving on, so all the best, guys. Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis. They ended.
Never going to work, was it?
They ended a 7-year engagement. I don't think they were ever getting married.
Wasn't he in a film called The 5-Year Engagement as well?
He wasn't. No, but there was that was Jason Segel.
Damn it.
Who ironically gets married after a month. I don't know if that's true.
He's like that. I don't know if that's true. Don't hold that as a fact.
Sad to hear it, guys. All the best. They're now focusing on co-parenting their 2 children. So
they've probably seen each other a lot then.
Well, it might just be one child each. That would still be co-parenting, wouldn't it?
Co-parenting, yeah.
We've split up the kids too, chosen a favourite each.
To be honest, a lot cleaner. And then really you can decide who is the best parent, because whichever one turns out to be a dick, you're like, well, I was right all along.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's like, how do you measure it? Like, what if the one who's a dick is more, financially successful or something like that? Maybe that's like, it's hard.
You'd get a mediator in.
Yeah, well, hopefully one of them ends up in prison or something, so it's just clear cut.
Yeah, or you keep them apart long enough, they actually forget each other, they fall in love, they get married, and then when they get divorced, their incestuous children, whoever it's decided was the better partner in the relationship, comes out as the winner.
Amazing, and it just keeps on going.
Yeah. It's a relentless cycle.
Great. Well, good luck to the Wild Sudeikis clan. I hope they called themselves that. I just came up with that. Anyway, here's a bit of a left field one, not a long-term relationship, but Kate Beckinsale and Goody Grace. Goody Grace?
Who is Goody Grace?
47-year-old Kate split up with 23-year-old Canadian rapper Goody. Having been dating since earlier this year. Kate's got a bit of a penchant for the young kids these days. Is that the word? What's the word?
Yeah, I think you can. Penchant's a word.
Yeah. But good luck to her. I got no issues with that.
No? You shouldn't have.
No. I mean, I don't think it would ever have lasted. But that's not a reason for it to start to begin. That's no reason for it to not start to begin with.
To start.
That's the thing I wanted to say. Next up, we've got Iggy Azalea and Playboy Carti. Now I'm going to be honest, Iggy, you chose a bloke named Playboy. It won't ever gonna last.
No, it's true. It's true. If you had no chance. I'm sure it's not his christened name, but I'm just hypothesizing what would happen for you to criticize, to christen your child Playboy.
Well, it's BOI, Playboy, BOI. So
Playboy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a like that might be like a traditional Haitian name or something. I'm not sure. choose a
Not sure about that culture. We're going to need to check on that cultural reference.
Yeah, I was like, what nationality of people are least likely to be watching this? Oh, the Haitians. I'll go for that.
I'll be honest, mate. I think you've got 191 countries to play with.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, that's good because I'm about to get more offensive. Because Cardi B and Offset called quits on their 3-year marriage. They had actually separated in 2017, but got back together, and obviously stayed together until this year. And Cardi B gave an interview at the time about that, like in early 2018. And I've actually got a recording of her in that interview and what she said about her relationship with Offset and
Okay. I'll bite.
Yeah, so like I'll just play that for a second. So she said, well, I'll play it. I won't tell you what she said. I know I look good. I know I'm rich. I know I'm talented. I know and I want any basketball player, football player, but I want to work out my shit with my man, and I don't got to explain why. I'm not your property. That is my life. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to decide on my decision. It's not right what he fucking did, but people don't know what I did because I ain't no angel. So that was the recording of Cardi B from 2018.
I've just got word from the moderators, and we have been banned from Twitch.
Is that
been banned? We're
because
we're
like
done
a
now.
copyright thing because you're not allowed to play someone else's interview or?
No, they just said it was generally so offensive, and they couldn't even specify what nationality you thought that Cardi B was. They just said offensive to all nationalities.
Does anyone know what nationality Cardi B is? That was the recording, Dan. That wasn't me.
You were lip syncing so perfectly to it, though. I think that's what threw him off. I'll just send him a message and say it was just lip syncing, and then see if that.
Lip sync. I've listened to that so many times.
I mean, it was too good. It was too good for him, mate. You've convinced him. You're too convincing.
The thing that I thought was weird I thought her accent changed in the second paragraph when she realised it wasn't the same one that she'd practiced earlier.
I mean, it was bound to be off-putting for her. I know that she has to do a lot of work on her public speaking. Yeah. She's like David Beckham in that sense.
But everything she said is right. She knows she looks good. She knows she's rich, and she knows she's talented. Get any man she wants. It's all like more power to her. I'm sorry it didn't work out for them, to be honest.
Well, no, you shouldn't be. I'm sure she can. Well, with releasing WAP, I mean, she's going to have them running around after, mate. She's going to have people chasing her.
She'll be all right. Yeah, she'll be all right.
She'll be all right.
There's a few more. We had Miley Cyrus and Cody Simpson sadly didn't make it through the year. Bill Hader, this is a good one for me. Bill Hader and Rachel Bilson.
Okay. Because
I just would like to think that one day I'll end up with Rachel Bilson, having been so in love with her when I was 17 and she was on the OC.
I think that's the basis for a strong relationship as well. I
think so. Hopefully she'll see that impression and think, oh, there's a go.
Surely, if we looked through the records, you would find that teenage infatuation with somebody, with a celebrity, every single relationship that started that way and has ended in sort of whatever, like just a long-term relationship. I think they're probably for life.
It's tale as old as time.
Time isn't a tale.
Is it not?
No.
But it's old, right?
It depends how much time you're talking. If you're talking old, like time is like a second.
It's a tale as old time.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay, that's.
It's a tale as old as something really old.
The dinosaurs.
Armie Hammer and Elizabeth Chambers split up. I don't think Armie's going to have any troubles finding a new partner.
And both of their names are parts of a gun.
Yeah.
What's that about?
And that's his real name. I thought for sure it must be a made-up name.
It's too cool, isn't it? Like, they looked at him and they were like, "He's a hammer.
He's a hammer.
He's army hammer.
Army hammer.
We know. Yeah.
Al Pacino
No.
ended his relationship with Meital Dohan. M-E-I-T-A-L. M-E-I-T-A-L. How do you say that? Meital?
I don't know.
Quite an age.
I don't even.
There was Al Pacino 79. Meital was 43.
That was older than I thought you were going to say. So
okay, well, but she has a great quote as well. Unfortunately, I lost the recording of this one, so I'll just read it out. So my Israeli impression is excellent.
You've been working on it for some time.
She said, this is really good. She said, "It's hard to be with a man so old, even Al Pacino. The age gap is difficult, yes. I tried to deny it, but now he is already an elderly man, to be honest. So even with all my love, it didn't last." That was great.
It reminds me of Davy Jones from the Monkees, who knew that he was old and it was ridiculous for him to be going out with a younger woman. I can't remember. It was definitely 20 years plus. And he said in an interview, it's great going out with a younger woman, but when she says, "Do you want to run upstairs and go to bed with me?" I have to say to her, "Love, at my age, it's one or the other."
That's good. That is good.
Yeah,
Yeah, good luck to him though. Well, I mean, he's dead now, but in general,
Davy Jones.
in general, people with big age differences, good luck to them. That's all I'm saying. Unless they die, then rest in peace. I mean, and we'll all die. He's not Davy Jones
Exactly.
is the only one. He's unique in a lot of ways, Davy Jones, but not that way.
No matter how much well-wishing you give someone, they will die.
I'd say it might be the only thing you or I have in common with Davy Jones.
Pretty much.
Next one's a good one. Only a couple more, Webby.
No, don't worry. I'm enjoying it.
Pamela Anderson and John Peters. John Peters, movie mogul, apparently, called it quits 12 days after their wedding. So
12 days. So that's not on my. It's interesting. We'll come to that in a second. But yeah, hold that thought.
Okay, maybe it's a fresh one. And lastly, Rihanna ended her relationship with Hassan Jamil.
Good name.
The pop star and the Saudi billionaire ended their 3-year relationship. If a Saudi billionaire can't keep a relationship going, what hope is there for the rest of us, Dan?
I think being a Saudi billionaire would probably lend itself to not being able to sustain a relationship with one person.
Really? I thought Saudi billionaires are known for their romance.
Yeah, probably. But I mean,
I don't know what erotic fiction you're reading, Dan, but almost all the men in the ones I read are Saudi billionaires, and they're just lovely.
I mean, you say read, but you've been self-publishing these books for some time, haven't you? It's like a Mills and Boon series.
Well, they're not.
And he's called.
They're not reading themselves, though. I'm still reading them.
Well, yeah, you're buying them off Amazon for yourself. You're self-publishing them, and then you're buying them, and you're leaving the reviews as well.
Yeah, mate. It's a cash cow. Nice little earner.
It's not, because you're losing.
Oh, I lose on production.
A percentage to Amazon.
Sales,
yeah.
Sold out. So
you can't sell out of an ebook.
Well, that's what they thought.
There's no telling you anything, mate. I'm not going to argue with you.
I ordered a Google of them.
A Google?
Yeah,
a Google. That's a number?
I think it's like isn't it a 1 with 1,000,000 zeros or something? I ordered that many, and Amazon shut down. They said we can't handle it.
It's too much. It's just too much. Well, I mean, if that's fair play to you, it was your plan.
Yeah.
I mean, you were. I presume you were hoping it was going to spur on to more people buying the stuff, but nobody's bought anything of that.
I was the first person in history become a billionaire and become bankrupt in the same second. Look at your little Guinness World Records, mate. You'll find me in there.
It's not a little book. It's large. They don't put all the records in every year. I found that out when I was a kid and I was disappointed.
Oh yeah, because there's so many dumb records.
But it shouldn't be Guinness Book of Records. I know it says a year on the front, but you're like, well, I thought all the records were going to be in here, and now I don't know who's the person with the longest neck.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but like, do you have are you buying a new copy every year?
Not now.
Okay. Because I wonder, like, if a new neck person comes along, would that get in there? But if it's the same, they're like, the people remember who had the longest neck last year, which I presume you do. But
yeah, they're probably hoping that you're going to keep buying them for new ones, and they'll put in the new one is like updated ones or brand new records that they.
exactly.
I see the logic, but this was pre-internet, mate.
I used to work at the Spinnaker Tower in Portsmouth, and I have no idea what the record was, but there was a guy. I mean, I can guess, I suppose, but there was a guy up the top, and he was ironing a shirt, and it had something to do with a Guinness World Record. I don't know if it was like the highest. It was probably like, because they're so specific. It was like the highest viewing platform anyone's ever ironed a shirt on, or something like that. But this guy was like, he was like the shirt ironing king. Like it wasn't just that. He's like, yeah, I ironed a shirt underwater once. I ironed it at your mum's house. Like he'd iron shirts everywhere. He just owned all the shirt ironing GWRs.
GWRs. No, that's
Thank you.
I said that quite quickly. Are you sure it wasn't? Are you sure it wasn't? There wasn't somebody at the bottom waiting, and he was actually hoping to survive the tallest dropping of an iron onto somebody's head.
Oh.
It's just the guy waiting at the bottom. Come on.
Gosh.
Seems unlikely. It's probably the ironing.
Someone must have that record though.
For surviving an iron.
Yeah.
Dropping. I feel like it would be against their sort of health and safety protocol now to drop an iron on somebody's head from such a great height and then wonder if they survived.
Bloody political correctness gone mad, mate.
Not political correctness.
Red tape. Oh, red tape nightmare. The bureaucrats are in. Oh.
I think they're just trying to stop people from being killed by irons.
Yeah. The PC Brigade. You're under arrest from the PC Brigade.
PC is the same as police constable, so it would be.
Yeah, no, but it stands for political correctness in this instance.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to check.
It was my uncle Neville Brigade became actually a police constable.
And he was
so
PC
he was
Brigade.
PC Brigade. It was very confusing. He was also a racist.
Yeah, he was a bit of a racist, your Uncle Neville. Yeah. It's sort of, I mean, it depends. What's your definition of the word irony? Just run that one past me again.
Just Googling something different.
Yeah.
Question.
So I had a short. We won't go into all this now because we have studied. We've been shining the Myles and Dan torchlight of ethics on these relationships of 2020. But I will pop two quick questions for you.
Okay, cool.
Which of these relationships do you think lasted, or marriages lasted the shortest amount of time? I've got two questions, two different couples. So the first two are Britney Spears and Jason Alexander in 2004.
Wait, Jason Alexander?
That was his name, wasn't it?
Isn't that George from Seinfeld?
I think it's another guy called Jason.
Oh,
Alexander.
right.
I don't. It's definitely not. It's definitely not George Costanza. Let's just
That's
clarify that.
amazing that I missed that.
It would be, I'll be honest, a surprise. Yeah, he's a very square-headed, tight hair-lined man.
Hmm.
I would describe him
Okay, yeah,
as
those two.
those two, and Nicolas Cage and Erica Koik, which was last year. Which one of those relationships lasted the longest?
Lasted the longest.
Yeah, in terms of the marriage.
I'm going to say Brittany and Jason.
Theirs was a whirlwind 55 hours or
Oh,
2 days and 5 hours.
okay.
7 hours. And Nick Cage and Erica lasted for 4 days before they managed to get it annulled. I'm going to be honest, I think both of them probably ended at a similar time, and we're really just talking legal.
Sure. And
Like,
like the next morning, what do you think? Like immediately after saying the vows, like when do you think in their minds they're like, this isn't the right thing to do?
I think, yeah, probably. I mean, I imagine they were both drunk. Britney Spears got married at 5:30 in the morning in Vegas, and Nick Cage got married in the middle of the night in Vegas as well.
Got you,
Uh,
got you. Okay.
Britney Spears apparently got married in a white trucker hat and cut off jean shorts, which is nice. But yeah, they had to wait. I think they got married late, and then they were there first thing in the morning for the courts to open to get their annulment. So
I see, I see. Yeah,
pretty
right.
much.
Because Brittany had another pretty short marriage, didn't she?
I think so. Yeah, I think hers was only a few months. Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so I got that wrong, is what you're telling me. That's fine.
you did get it wrong, but you were close. It was a 2.5 day to
I
4
just
days.
thought Brittany famously had a really short marriage, so you throw it in there because it was even shorter from Nick. But that was my logic, but it was incorrect. So we can move on.
You got a bluff, double bluff, triple bluff, and bluff again.
Too many bluffs.
Some have said. So we have another one. We've got another couple here. Carmen Electra and Dennis Rodman, because I thought that would be one close to your heart.
That's my ballpark.
And one for my ballpark, Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock.
God, they're almost the same couples, aren't they?
Almost. If Kid Rock was a basketball player.
True.
They both got very idiosyncratic dress senses.
Yeah, and these are two couples who were in love, who chose to get married. I'm stating that as a fact. Like this wasn't drunk in Vegas. These were couples who chose to get married. But was this when Dennis Rodman wore the wedding dress?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say that. What am I choosing? Which was longer? I'm going to say that Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra was longer.
It was longer, but it was also a Vegas wedding.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was another Vegas wedding, but more thought through, I think. Apparently, Dennis Rodman initially tried to get an annulment after just 9 days, but they managed to stick it out for the 5 months. So,
nice.
They did well. And Pamela Anderson and Kid Rock was just 3 months and 23 days.
Don't you just admire Pamela Anderson's impulsiveness?
I do.
She's still doing it. It's incredible.
That's why I thought. That's why I was amazed. It's like 3 months, 22 days, and that record would be in the top 10 of what. I went through this list. I don't think it was a very scientifically put together list.
It wasn't.
I think it was hack journalism at its best, and now I'm passing it off as something else. What does that make me?
A hack.
A hack of a hack.
Hack. Double hack.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
Is that all you've got?
I've got. Well,
in regards to this,
I've got another game. In regards to this game, it's over. Looking up for stuff for this, I went down the wormhole of relationship advice, self-help books.
Okay.
And I discovered that Steve Harvey, who I thought was quite an amiable sort of, he presents family fortunes
Mhm.
and he's quite funny, but he messed up the Miss World results once, didn't he? He read out the wrong person. Remember that?
Steve. I don't,
Yeah,
but
it's Steve.
I can
So
imagine.
I thought he was quite a, bland-ish personality. And then I discovered that he'd written a book for women with relationship advice called Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. What men really think about love, relationships, intimacy, and commitment.
Great.
And let's be honest, he probably just wrote the book and he should have just called it Act Like a Lady, Think Like Steve Harvey Wants You to Think a Man Thinks, what Steve Harvey really thinks about love, relationships, intimacy, and commitment. Steve Harvey's it couldn't be any more gender stereotype, this book. I just went through some quotes from Goodreads because I couldn't get a copy of it, and I wasn't going to give him any money. But he says here, but remember what drives a man. Real men do what they have to do to make sure their people, I don't know who he's referring to there,
Well,
are
I'd be
taking
your people.
your
I'd
people,
be
yeah.
your people. You'd be my people.
Right. Okay.
Probably your wife would be one of your people.
It's not,
I,
don't
maybe
belong to
that.
it.
I mean, that's confusing for this in this
In
context.
this in this context. I mean, I don't. I mean, I love you, but I'm not sure that I make sure that you're clothed, housed, and especially this one, reasonably satisfied. I'm not working on your satisfaction levels, mate.
Eh, you are paying
And if
for it
they
though.
and if they're doing anything less than that, Steve Harvey reasons, they're not men.
Okay.
So a kick in the face for all primary financial um, women who clothe and feed their family and look after their children. But he then says, we men are very simple people. If we like what we see, we're coming over there.
True.
Bit
We're
from
like
it, really.
magpies.
We are. We're just like which is why we can never walk past any shops. If we don't want anything from you, we're not coming over there. He says that quite
God
simply.
no, walk in the other direction if anything.
And then he does put a full stop, and then he just says period. Period.
Good.
And
That's
then there's
very
another full
American.
stop.
Yeah.
Please highlight this part right here. Yeah, he's instructing women specifically to get a highlighter pen out. So you can always remind yourself the next time a man steps to you, a man always wants something, always. And when it comes to women, that plan is always to find out two things. Can you guess what the two things are?
So that a man wants to find out about a woman.
Yeah, when a man comes to a woman, the plan is always to find out two things about the woman.
Um, it is. Well, definitely one of them is going to be opinions on climate change. So if they believe it or not, and then the other,
You,
I
you,
guess, would be it's tough. Maybe stock tips, like something like that.
stock tips. You close. It is financially motivated. One, if you're willing to sleep with him, and
Okay.
two, if you are, how much it'll cost to get you to sleep with him.
Okay, that was 3 and 4 for me, but okay, so
Okay,
yeah.
because you normally go in with. I've seen whenever you've sort of made the first move,
On the
you
prowl. Yeah.
when you're on the prowl, I
Yeah.
suppose we call it. It's a PC term.
Yeah.
You carry around with you that famous picture of the polar bear on
Mm-hmm.
the ice cap, and you just show that, and just purely based on that reaction, you'll decide whether you're going to buy them a drink, and then when you say, "Oh, what drink do you want?" you work out the financial, like exactly how many drinks it'll take,
Yeah.
and then you just pretend to go to the bar, and you normally just go straight out the back door. Then you don't even speak.
Exactly. Yeah. I also often use that. What's that pickup line I always use? I'm like, oh, how much does a polar bear weigh? And they're like, how much? I'm like, nothing. They're all dying because the ice caps are melting. And they're like, if and they're like, oh yeah, I care about climate change too. I'm like, great.
Good job. Because it's not something worth joking about. I've seen you get your finger right in somebody's face like that as well.
Yeah. And I'm like, what do you think about Tesla stocks?
Yeah.
That's my.
And then what do you think about Tesla stocks?
I mean, buy high, sell low. You know me.
It's part of the. I mean, it fits with your previous financial advice about buying your own Amazon ebook. So
Yeah. Well, I was a billionaire. So.
for that,
Nanosecond.
right, nanosecond. Did you watch it go in and then come back out?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, nice.
Mm-hmm. God, it felt good. Felt good. When did Steve write this book?
2009.
Okay. Wasn't that different a time? It was a slightly different time, but
He was on. I thought I saw it was like he was on like Oprah Winfrey or something, talking about like 10 years later this book, and he was still like, this was last year, and he was sticking to it.
Okay.
He thinks it's still a very valuable document for women who don't want to be played by
And like liberating, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair
don't
enough.
want to be played. The thing that's most disturbing about the book is that he specifically says you should go for bald men with mustaches. That's one of the most worrying thing.
Family Feud hosts.
Yeah, and he just has a bunch of pictures of people on one page. It's just pictures of people, and they've all got X's through them, apart from a big picture of a man who looks suspiciously like Steve Harvey with a big tick.
Yeah,
a big tick on him.
Any man not named Steve is a cheater.
Exactly, yeah. And what's with that Harvey Weinstein guy bringing down the name Harvey?
Yeah, that must have been a rough day for Steve.
Yeah.
Because it all happened on one day.
It all happened on one day. He was naughty Weinstein for one day. I think he was horrible for 30 years.
Probably his entire life.
Yeah.
So, have you got more of Steve Harvey?
Oh, I mean, there's so many quotes, but it would just be, the things that he says are just so offensive to both, to all the genders.
Yeah.
A real man is happy and eager to live by your rules as long as he knows what the rules are, and he's sure that abiding by those rules will help keep the woman he loves happy.
Okay. Well, I take offence as a published author. Not a man or a woman, just a published author.
Somebody, I take offence at somebody who's written a sentence. Ever.
I've got a game we can dip in and out of.
Okay.
And it follows on from yours nicely. It's if at first you don't succeed, tie the knot again.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
I'm going to give you three celebs who have all been married multiple times, and just tell me who's been married the most to least.
Nice.
You got me?
Yeah.
And we'll start off with this one because it's relevant to one of yours. Gary Oldman, Nick Cage, Larry King.
Larry King.
Do you know Larry King, the American host?
Okay, yes.
Larry King show, yeah.
Yep. I nearly got confused between him and Larry Bird then. That would have been a fatal error.
No. Larry King famously married a lot of times.
It's I don't know enough about Larry to sustain. I know Nick Cage has been married 6 or 7 times maybe now. He's coming up to, I don't know. I can count 5 of them, which means...
Really? Maybe his latest one didn't get on there because it got annulled. I was going off the figures on the Wikipedia page.
Oh, okay. Is Erica Koik not on there?
She is, yeah.
Okay, so he's only been married 4 times then?
4 times, yeah.
Okay, Lisa Marie Presley, Patricia Arquette.
Yep.
Erica Coig.
What's his most successful marriage?
Yes, the one that he's got his son who's called fucking Kai. He's called like Kai L after Superman,
Wow.
which is a bold statement. No, don't remember the name.
Alice Kim.
Alice Kim. Right. No, still not rung any bells. I must have deleted that from my head. But I'm going to go for Gary Oldman. I think it's a dark horse.
Well, okay. Larry King has been married 8 times.
Mate,
But you don't know Larry King, so. But also he's older than the other two, so give them time. Gary Oldman's been married 5 times. Nick Cage 4 times.
Okay, I think. Yeah, I mean, if you are so inclined to get married all the time, you probably shouldn't host a TV show where you meet people all the time.
True.
I think you're setting yourself up for a fall there. I think if you're serially inclined to get married to as many people as possible, you should probably just work in telesales or something where you're not even going to see them.
Yeah, in a basement somewhere.
Yeah, actually, telesales is probably not the right thing to do either,
No,
because you might end up just going, "Do you want to meet me outside?" And then they'd be like, "Yeah," and then you'll get married to them there.
Yeah, it's just basically a dating app, telesales.
Yeah, that's what it was beforehand.
I've got a few of these. We'll come back. I'll give you one more where you know all the people.
Okay, nice.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh.
Angelina Jolie.
Oh, they were married together, mate.
They were indeed.
Can't fool me.
James Cameron.
He's definitely been married a couple of times.
By the way, everyone has been married at least twice in this game.
Okay. All right, Billy Bob. Angelina Jolie's been married 3 or 4 times. Billy Bob Thornton. Let's say Billy Bob Thornton.
Who do you reckon second?
James Cameron.
Very good. 3 out of 3. Billy Bob 6 times. Master manipulator. James Cameron 5 times.
Wow, that was hold on, nice. Rewind. That was a very casual. Absolute.
I think it's something that he's said.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I was gonna say. I was like, wow, that was dark. You just went from Billy Thornton, quite funny, being master manipulator, hypnotist.
You know what? I watched Love Actually the other day, and Billy Bob Thornton plays the sleazy president, and he hits on British national treasure McClutchin. What's her name?
Martine McClutchin.
Yeah. So Billy Bob's in my bad book at the moment. Yeah, Billy Bob 6, James Cameron 5, Angelina 3.
Yeah, Angelina's just Brad Pitt, him, and
the first guy. What was his name? Jamie someone or
no? Yes, maybe.
It's like a double barrel name, perhaps. I can't remember.
Yeah, but he's not very exciting. But no. Billy Bob and Angelina Jolie used to carry around vials of each other's blood.
I remember hearing that.
But we've never done that.
No. Johnny Lee Miller.
I knew it was somebody who was in Train Spotting, but I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, he's an actor, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was another actor, but somebody's not as good. I don't understand. I would never like Billy Bob Thornton. Just seems weird, but then John Voight is really weird, so I'm not surprised Angelina Jolie has issues.
John Voight is getting weirder, I believe.
Yeah,
I haven't looked that up.
I based it.
I feel like I read his name the other day. Is he like a Trump supporter or something?
Oh, he's loving it, mate. He's loving it. He's adamant that it was voter fraud.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's good. Good basis for a sound mind believing that sort of thing. I really wanted to get in a game about the inner workings of a relay team that was going to be called Relay Shunship, and it was going to be, I had a whole thing, but I was going to have to write because the relationships actually between relay teams aren't very exciting.
Yeah, but is there any like, you always get to go second. I want to go second. Or is there anything like that? Or are they like, no, no, I'm a second runner and you're a third? Are we talking about running relays?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess they do swimming relays too.
Yeah, they do.
But they're just like, I guess the thing is, the there's no there's probably not that um, uncertainty surrounding who's the best. Like
No.
usually one of them can definitely run faster than the other three, so he'll probably go last, I suppose. The fastest ones go first and last, I imagine. I don't know.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? I mean, I don't know the inner workings enough. I just wanted there to be something, just for the pun's sake. I wanted there to be something strong there, but
it was good. You know what? I wish you'd done it. So
I can't go back now.
well, it's disappointing.
Speaking of divorce,
Go on.
I've got from a Reddit thread of lawyers posting about divorces. I've got some reasons that were given for handing somebody their divorce papers, or reasons for they wanted to get divorced, and I thought you might be able to fill in these from the suggestions.
From my time as a lawyer.
From your time as a lawyer, I think just generally your ability to look into, like, hypothesize a relationship just from a simple sentence. So this man wanted a divorce because his wife spent $42,000 on something. Hotlines. What type of hotlines do you reckon would get a man to divorce his wife?
Crisis.
Crisis.
Crisis hotline.
I mean, it's close. Crisis as in what? As in the person themselves is having a crisis, or they're just phoning up and giving money to crisis charities?
No, in hindsight, you're probably not paying a lot to call a crisis hotline. I've not thought that through. I'm going to change my answer.
Yeah, that would be really doubly harsh, wouldn't it? It's like you're phoning up to go, I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about harming myself. This is a premium call. You do know that, so you're probably going to want to wrap this up pretty soon.
Yeah, or it's like, thank God, it's only taken 3 months, but I think I feel okay now. Okay, well, the bill's coming in the post.
Oh no! And now I need to find another cheaper hotline to get over this.
Golly! All right, the hotline was it was star signs. It's a horoscope.
You're close. Yeah, it was almost there. Well, I think probably it does have a bit of that. The word I've got here is psychic, so I would probably take that as a correct answer. We'll mark that down as 1 out of 1. I think.
Thank you.
1 out of 1. Really, psychic hotlines are crisis hotlines. They really are. If you're phoning up saying I need to know what's going to happen, and every day you're phoning up going, can you see when my husband's going to die yet? No, we still haven't got that one on. And you go,
yeah, yeah. It's a good little nice little business to get into, though.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we could start doing it on here, I think we'd be set for life, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we could start telling people, how many people they were going to shoot on Call of Duty today, I think we'd be made.
Oh yeah. How many people are actually interested in what I have to say?
Well, we do that for each other all the time because it's always only minimum of 1, maximum of 2.
Yeah. True.
Okay, number 2. I had a client file for divorce because every morning his wife would ask him what?
The wife would ask him
Yeah. I had a client file for divorce because every morning his wife would ask him what?
to brush his teeth.
No. It's a good thought, though.
Would ask him for money.
Have you been reading Steve Harvey's?
What's for breakfast?
You're getting closer.
Okay.
Warmer.
To make a cup of tea.
Almost. You're getting close there. I think more laterally about something that would be really annoying. That she's not asking him if he wants a cup of tea.
No, she's asking him to make it for her.
No. His wife would ask him how he takes his coffee. For 7 years, she asked him every day how he takes his coffee.
No, that guy needs a sense of humour. That's funny. I mean, that's the sort of thing I'd do.
Commitment.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, every single... I have things like that every single time, and I can't think of a time when my wife hasn't asked me what I want for dinner, and I don't reply dog food every single day. So, I look forward to my divorce proceedings in 6 years' time.
Yeah. Or finally when she serves you dog food.
I know, and then I'll be like, mate, come on, it was a joke.
Yeah, it's a bit... You'll be... Look out for a subpoena. Is that what you do? Do you subpoena divorce? Because they say you've been served. Is that a subpoena? I don't know.
I think that's to tell you have to come to court, isn't it? So
Right.
That's probably when it gets bad. You get subpoenaed, maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, you can divorce her.
You can divorce her. Okay, 1 out of 2, but you've got
1.5.
1.5. Yeah, you got to T. That's fair. 1.5. 1.5. Okay, we'll go for the other way around now. So, got a divorce because the husband insisted on bringing his mother on their honeymoon. That's where the wife discovered that the reason was because his mother was... ...
A 10.
And she couldn't compete.
Yeah,
Wow.
10.
Steve Harvey strikes again.
Never.
In his book, it just says never get a woman whose mother's a 10. Because he'll constantly be comparing you to his mother.
It'll ruin your honeymoon.
Yeah.
It's because his mother was a chef.
I mean, almost.
Because he invited his mother because his mother was that the question?
Because his mother was ...
Oh.
I don't even know if I believe this one, but I put it in anyway because it's so ridiculous.
Because his mother was Susan Sarandon.
It's a good reason. I don't know what... You couldn't be that offended by Susan Sarandon?
Yeah, good question. No, but you'd just be like, I can't compete. Because it's a thing we don't understand. It's probably in Steve Harvey's book, Dan, but
yeah,
that women, your partner will always compete with your mother in their own mind.
In their own mind.
That's the title of my upcoming book.
Well, your mother, it's all in my mind.
So, yeah. No, my mother, it's all in your mind.
My mother. All right. No, it's bad though. The wife discovered that the reason was because his mother was still breastfeeding him. Yes, a grown man was still breastfeeding.
Okay.
Not sure if I believe it. I'm going to...
Like, is it possible?
I suppose it's possible.
Yeah. Does, how long does that milk stick around for?
I think if you keep
Really?
it keeps going, I
Golly,
believe.
golly. Well, write in the chat. Let us know.
If you know how long lactation lasts, please feel free to tell us.
Let us know. How long did you breastfeed for? Comment below.
Because we need all the help we can get.
Yeah, okay, that's grounds for divorce. I mean,
That's grounds for divorce.
that. I mean, kudos to the guy for keeping it hidden until the honeymoon. Was that the right time to? I mean, sure. As a man of honor, sort of.
Yeah, it's not very. Really, you should like. I'm pretty sure there wasn't any question that he should have told her that beforehand.
I hope it was like it remained ambiguous until she actually saw it. So she's like, "Why is your mum coming on the honeymoon?" He's like, "In case I get thirsty." Like he doesn't think anything of it. He's like, "In case I need something to drink." What are you talking about? And the wife's like, "This is weird. Like, what does he make his mum go to the bar for him every time he needs a drink?"
That first evening was awkward, though, wasn't
Well,
it?
exactly. Yeah, presumably it was post-coital, and he rolls over. It was their first time as well. They're good Christians. He's like, "Oh, that was wonderful. I am parched, mummy." His mum,
And she's just waiting behind the door, and she just
yeah,
comes straight in.
she's already got the top off. Yeah.
Oh no, mate, they're not sick. She just uses as the straw thing.
Oh, right. Silly me.
Yeah, they're
I
not.
took it too far.
They're not perverts. Okay, one more.
Sure, keep
One
me
more for the
coming.
record. Apparently, this guy comes up with a hilarious prank by playing the day before's lottery numbers,
Mm.
and then he puts them, but he buys them
Mm-hmm.
in the morning, puts it on the fridge, and then he's like, when she's making coffee, he like yells from the other room and goes, "Oh, can you check the lottery numbers, the ones on the thing for last night?" And what happens that then ends in divorce? What happens from that moment that ends in divorce?
They actually win the lottery, but she throws away the ticket.
No.
Ah,
Good
I thought I had
hypothesis,
it
though.
that time.
Yeah.
Um, she stabs him in the throat. In the throat.
Wow.
I mean, that's an annoying practical joke. Does he keep doing it?
No, I mean, in this, it says that it's just the first time he decides that it's a
Oh, it's
practical
first time.
joke. And
Okay, so she
yeah,
spends loads of money.
that would also be plausible as well. I was really like, I thought that I was going to be able to guess the end of the story as well when I was like, I was reading it going, oh yeah, this is bound to happen. Yeah, spending all the money would be a good thing as well. Well, like a good reason to go. Why did you do that? It was such a stupid joke, and then they fall out over that, and it's irreconcilable. But no, he says that he hears her get a laptop out, and then she just goes silent and says, "Oh, we didn't win anything." And he's like, "Oh, okay, like what?" And then apparently, 15 minutes later, she comes downstairs with the kids, saying that she forgot to tell him they were going to the mom's, and she leaves, and then she doesn't come back. She doesn't come back. Like she can't get his like he does. She won't return his calls. She just thinks that they've won the lottery and that she can finally get away from him,
Oh,
and
right.
that she's taking off with the winnings. And then when she comes home a few days later, she just walks in the door and says "fuck you," throws the ticket at him, and then packs her bags and leaves.
Okay,
They have to get a divorce after that.
right.
But I think he
So,
still filed for divorce.
so the foundation had already been laid for this relationship to end.
I think
And
so,
yeah, right. Okay.
but I just thought it was funny.
That
I
is,
just like the idea
yeah.
of being, I've just been like, no, and then he's like, any person who would do that as a practical joke is obviously an absolute a-hole anyway.
Yeah.
And you can just imagine the guy just sitting there going, like waiting to hear like his wife getting excited they won the lottery, and then coming out and going, your happiness means nothing to
Yeah, yeah. They sound like they were made for each other, really.
me. Unfortunately, didn't last.
Yeah. Well, speaking of divorce, Nicole Kidman, Tom Cruise, Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. What a threesome. Well, again, you've picked two people who have been married to each other.
Have indeed.
Tom Cruise and Sean Bean.
Yeah.
And let's have a think. Okay, Nicole Kidman. She's been married to Keith Urban for quite some time, I believe. So, Tom Cruise.
You think Tom Cruise is number one?
Number one.
Sean Bean, 5 marriages. Tom Cruise, 3. Nicole Kidman, 2.
5 times to Sean Bean.
That's a lot.
What, like, any of these people? What, do we know any of these people? Not personally.
That Sean's married? That's a good question.
Yeah. Trying to.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not. Probably not personal. Oh my God, your wife's one of them, Dan. No, I haven't heard of any of them. Melanie Hill is an English actress.
Okay.
Best known for playing Hazel Redfern in Auf Wiedersehen Pet. Do you know that?
Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen.
Is that a show? Was that a TV show?
Yeah, I think that comes from your actual German. I think that. But I like the way you tried to relate it like it was an English word.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's had a few. Sean Bean. Do you know Tom's 3 wives?
Nicole, Katie Holmes. I want to say Kim Basinger, but I know it's not.
So you can say it there.
Kim Basinger.
No, I believe it's the woman who introduced him to Scientology, Mimi Rogers.
Mimi Rogers. Yeah, that sounds plausible.
Yeah. She was in Austin Powers.
Yes.
And probably some other stuff.
I imagine she probably was.
Kelsey Grammer.
Oh?
Kelsey Grammer, Liz Taylor, Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor didn't live long enough to beat Kelsey Grammer and Liz Taylor. Liz Taylor was married 8 or 9 times. Kelsey Grammer's I found out he's got about 10 kids or something. I found out when we went to see him in Man of the Mancha. Because when I go to the theatre to see someone, I have to check. I do like a character check on them. It's sort of like my version of a CRB. I don't want them to lurch at me from the stage.
So what are you going to go for Liz?
I think it's going to be close, but I'm going to go for Liz.
Liz Taylor married 8 times.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor married 7 times. Kelsey Grammer 4.
Okay. So he's just had a lot of kids. He's not had a lot of wives. Yeah. Well, he's had a lot of wives.
He's had 4, yeah.
Yeah. How many times does he get married in Frasier? He's been married 3 times in that.
Does he? I don't know, yeah.
I don't know. I was just trying to think. I know he gets married. I know he's been married twice in that at least. But
one of Richard Pryor's 7 marriages was to the same woman twice.
Liz Taylor was it 3 times or 2 times to Richard Burton?
With Richard Burton, yeah, I think you're right.
Richard Pryor was a bit. Well, I mean, fair enough. He's just too awful, too unpredictable, probably. I would imagine to be married to for an extended period of time.
Sure.
What we got?
Richard Burton twice, yeah.
I don't know. These people. I wouldn't get married again. Mostly because I'm still married.
Suit yourself.
And it wouldn't be It would be bigamy.
Yeah, I think if I was rich, I'd be more into getting married multiple times.
If you were Richard Pryor.
No, if I was rich.
Oh, I thought you said if you like. I thought you meant rich as in Richard Pryor. I thought you knew
If I was
more.
rich PGP. No,
You need to get married multiple times.
you're just getting married. Oh, it's been a good couple of months, hasn't it? Let's have a wedding.
Mate, I think if we were rich and we were in Vegas, we'd probably get married.
Sure, absolutely. And we'd both be dressed as Elvis.
Again.
Again.
I mean, it's a dream. It's a dream.
It's the dream.
The dream. And a dream.
And our dream. Do you want to play? It's an untitled game. I think it's called Don't Tell the Dan.
Don't tell the Dan.
Yeah. Or maybe Dan, Tell the Bride. That could be what it's called. Dan,
Okay,
Tell the Bride. That's better.
Yeah. Dan, tell the bride. Got it. Nice.
So this.
Yes.
So, it's been a long year, and at one point in the year, I really got into the British TV show Don't Tell the Bride, where the future husband plans the wedding without the bride knowing anything about it.
Yes.
With a small budget, and inevitably, what they all do, if one doesn't, it really stands out actually. But what they do is they're like, "What's the thing that I like? Yeah, let's do a wedding about that." So it'd be like I'd do a wedding on a cricket field or something like, and it's usually things that their future brides really hate. So anyway, I'm going to give you some of the weddings. You have to tell me if it's a real one from the show or one that I've made up.
Okay, I'm ready
I haven't
for
actually written any of these down, so I'm just going to have to use my remembering.
Your remembrance.
My remembrance, yeah. So
It is Remembrance Fun Day.
It's Remembrance Fun Day. Whoop whoop.
I don't think it's a thing actually. I think I just made that up.
Oh yeah, and I think actually also there's no whooping on Remembrance Fun Day.
Yeah, that's one of the rules that I have written down anyway.
It's ironic, I forgot.
Just double check that.
Is it so a wedding where this is the rally car wedding. So the rally car wedding, the husband and bride are in separate rally cars, but they can hear through a headset, and a priest or whatever is in one of them, and he does the vows whilst they're zooming around a rally car track, and then at the very end they get out of the cars and they kiss. Is that a real Don't Tell the Bride wedding?
I feel like it's not a legally standing marriage. I think you have to be present with each other, don't you? You can't do it. You can't get married over the phone, which is in essence what it would be. You'd be getting married over radio.
Look, mate, the question is that their wedding? I'm not questioning the legality.
The legality. Well, that's the first thing I'm doing. What? I mean, it's plausible. It seems like something stupid that a man would do. And I've lost my ear. I've lost my ear.
Oh God. What's it going to be?
Nah.
You saying it didn't happen?
Yeah, it sounds plausible, but like I say, I just don't think that it works.
It did happen.
Oh, well, they're not married.
Or that wasn't his original plan. His original plan was to get married on top of an aeroplane flying through the sky. But then last minute that got cancelled and he had to find a second option. So he thought, rally cars? But he was like, brilliant, it's cheaper than the aeroplane. I can spend more money on the reception. His wife was not impressed.
Well, I'm not surprised if he didn't even like rally cars enough for it to be the first choice. It's obviously not going to be good enough as a second choice, is it?
True. All right, the second wedding was the SeaWorld wedding, where they got married at sea, and the ceremony was presided over by a dolphin, and the dolphin got and the dolphin got, and like they translated what the dolphin said. So they're in the water, and the dolphin was like, "There you go," and the dolphin would be like, and then like the I can't do the dog. I can't. How does it what?
That's a horse. You've got
That's a horse.
The first one was actually the best one.
So the dolphin would make the noise, and then like its trainer would be like, "Do you, Peter?" And then the dolphin would go, yeah. Take the. It was actually one of the nicer ones because he did at least know that his wife really liked dolphin. Like she had all dolphin posters and stuff. So that was that wedding. Was that a real one, or was that one that I made up?
I'm sorry, like it just doesn't. That doesn't wash with me. It doesn't wash with my idea of animal rights. It doesn't wash with what's plausible in a.
The show's been around for a while.
You're just trying to throw me off the scent, mate. You don't. Don't give me any extra information. Let me talk it out.
After the wedding, they set the dolphin free. No, that bit didn't happen. No,
what, he just had to go? He just had to go and get a job, or
yeah, he had to fend for himself. No, the dolphin is still in captivity. But did the wedding really happen?
No,
it didn't.
It didn't.
Correct. It didn't happen. That one.
Thank God. I'm glad for everyone involved that it didn't. I think if it did, then even if it was a while ago and the show's been around for like 15 years or whatever, I think that they would still get people trolling them on Facebook if they'd have had a dolphin do their vows. Yeah. I think people would see that and go, you know what I'm going to do? Because I was just... there's not much going on today. I was going to maybe go to the gym or... No, I've seen that video. What I'll do is I'll make it my life's work to make these people's lives hell. Because that's something... Although it's a very noble cause to be an environmentalist, for some reason the word mentalist prevails in it, and it just... they go absolutely mad, desecrating people's graves, and generally...
and defecate, yeah. But, like, the thing is... It was a beautiful wedding, Dan, so maybe it'd be worth it.
It wasn't really...
Like, that's the sort of bargaining, like, that's the internal sort of, agreement that you've come up with, like, a lifetime of trolling, but a beautiful moment and a great picture, like...
So I'm imagining they kiss, and then the dolphin over the top, and they get that perfectly framed with the dolphin over the top of the...
Yeah, like with the droplets falling down and the light coming through. It was really beautiful, yeah. So,
but in your mind?
Oh, no, it happened. It just wasn't on Don't Tell the Bride.
Oh, okay.
It did happen. Cool. I was there.
You were the dolphin?
No, I was the groom. That was my first marriage.
You're a horrible, horrible man.
Thank you. All right, next up, it was the bungee jumping wedding.
Okay.
Where they were stood at the top of the bungee jump with their ankles tied up, and as the guy said, like, I now pronounce you husband and wife, he pushed them both off. And then he was like, you can now kiss the bride. And they had to try and kiss as they were falling down. Like, and they sort of, like, boing, boing, boing. And they sort of, like, bumped into each other. It's pretty funny. They bumped into each other a few times. And then they sort of had a Spider-Man upside-down kiss.
I mean, you've missed your calling as a bungee rope sound effects voiceover artist.
Better or worse than the dolphin?
I actually think the first dolphin was okay. I think we laughed and you tried to overcorrect it, and then, you should have stuck to your guns.
Do you know what? I agree. I did.
I think the bungee one was much worse. It had no... I think that noise is just a noise in your head. That if you were there at a bungee jump and you just That was all you were waiting for, was the noise. All you'd hear is just like, it wouldn't even make a noise. It would just be like a light slapping noise.
No, I think I don't, have you been bungee jumping? Because I'm a big bungier.
A bunger.
Yeah, and like, have you? Because I don't know, have you done much bungee? Because it's interesting you'd correct me if you haven't done any, and I'm sort of an avid bungee jumper. So
I think that my unconfirmed assumptions are more highly valuable than your personal experience.
okay, but anyway, did the wedding happen?
It did.
And tell the bride.
It did.
No, I made that one up, but maybe there is a don't tell the bride like that.
Could be.
It
You made
sounds
that
like
one up.
sort of shit that would go down, but I made that one up. It's not
Go
one
down.
I'd
Go
say.
down.
Hey, and come back up.
But then come back up. And
Go back up. A boing, a boing, a boing.
That's the next week's stream. Is just you saying boing, boing, boing over and over again. A bride lets her groom organise their big day. Craig plans an adrenaline-fueled wedding, including skydiving and bungee jumping, for his country girl bride to be.
Yeah, but they don't push, they don't fall off and try and kiss on the way down, do they?
I mean, there's a video of the bungee jump. Oh no, they end up skydiving. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. No,
But it was plausible.
I thought it was plausible.
Right, so I'm 1 for 3.
Are you 1 for 3? Yeah.
I'm doing a
Okay, what
terrible job here.
about a skateboarding wedding, a wedding on a skate ramp, where the bride who doesn't know how to skateboard has to skate down the aisle in her high heel shoes to meet her groom who also doesn't actually know how to skateboard. And it makes you question why they've chosen a skateboarding theme, but they're just those people who like skateboarding but don't actually know how to skateboard.
I like it for the aesthetics.
Yeah.
I've seen a few kids who've got skateboards for Christmas outside recently, and they just look brilliant. It's just like the worst sort of like push, like 1 foot push off. Not a very graceful way to get married, though. I'm gonna say that it is a real wedding, though. That they really got married in a really awkward way.
It was a real wedding, and the best thing about it was the guy didn't know how to skateboard, but he really liked skateboard. I already said that. But he was like, "Oh, no, I'm going to learn a trick for the big day." And then like it's like the 2 weeks leading up, and every now and then it goes to him like trying to learn a trick or whatever. And he's like, "This is so hard. I hate skateboarding." And he keeps doing it. He's like, "Oh, but I'm going to persevere." And then it's just like the morning of the wedding, and he's like doing his time. And he's like, "Yeah, I've decided not to do the trick."
The thing is, though, whatever they say about, sticking to, just trying really hard, trying to succeed, in some ways, it's just better to quit and not try and do it in the end.
Correct. He made the right call, absolutely. But
a lifetime of Hollywood movies will make you think that you should never give up, but really, sometimes you should definitely give up.
Yeah. Because there's like something like there's nothing you can't achieve. It's like actually there's like the majority of things you can't achieve. Yeah, almost everything is unachievable.
And sometimes you might think, oh well, if I just try really hard to achieve this one thing, then that'll definitely be achieved. And sometimes even that one thing won't be achievable.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is set yourself aims that you definitely can achieve. Like, I'm going to get out of bed this morning, and then you'll definitely succeed. Unless, of course, you don't get out of bed.
I know. I have some like that, and I don't even achieve them.
Yeah.
And it's rough. It makes for a rough day.
You just look at your list and you just go,
yeah, it's terrible.
What was I thinking?
Failed.
25 cups of tea. I was going to be buzzing. It was ridiculous. I don't know why I did it to myself. Excellent. So I'm 2 out of 4 now.
Yeah.
2 out of 4. Solid.
Do you want one more?
I'm gonna go. I'm ready for one more, mate. We could do one more.
Okay. I just need to make it up.
Okay.
no,
I'm
I'll
gonna
give
be
you
honest.
a real one. I'll give you a real one. It
Okay.
was it was like this guy was like actually he's like an said
Oh, you froze there
like
for a
a
second.
Extinction Rebellion type guy.
It's Rebellion.
Sorry,
Okay. No, you froze there for a second,
did you
but
lose?
then you came back in. Yeah.
I see.
I got Instinct Rebellion.
Yeah, he's like an environmentalist guy, and he wanted to get married at the top of the tallest tree in the UK.
Okay.
So they built like a platform at the top of the tree, and like got a cherry picker to take them up there. And so it was him and his missus and the he wasn't a priest, but whatever, the registrar or whatever, and they went up to the top of the tree, which was in I think it was in Nottingham. Is that
Okay.
Nottinghamshire, the county, not
Yeah.
the city, yeah. And they got they got married up there. She hated it because she was afraid of heights, but she was also like, he really loves trees, so do it. So I guess I'll go through. That's the thing. All of the brides are always like, I hate this, but I'm going to go through with it. That's the common theme on the show.
Well, I think when you know that you get given the money and you've got a lot of there for posterity, and it's something for, like, other people won't be able to say, oh well, I just had my normal wedding, and that was it. Whereas you can go, well, I absolutely hated it, but nobody else got married really awkwardly on a skateboard in a skate park.
Exactly.
I think, yeah. But yeah, I wonder if has anyone ever said no? They probably haven't.
Yeah,
They?
one person did. Yeah,
Okay.
she won happy.
What was it? Do you remember what it was? Or
yeah, it was a Oktoberfest themed wedding at a brewery.
I mean, that's not even that bad.
It wasn't that bad, relatively, but she was like, "I hate beer." She was, I mean, whatever. He was not great, but she wasn't someone that I would have married. I'll put it that way. Not even if there was a dolphin residing over it, I still would have married her.
Well, it's probably for the best then. He probably dodged a bullet. I wonder if they ever got married.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think they did actually. So what do you think about the tall tree wedding?
It's definitely made up.
What? Why? Because you saw me look outside and see a tree out my window.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, Dan said environmental, and then I was like, well, where are their trees? I was like, well, Robin Hood had trees, didn't it? So
that would have been better if you'd have said a Robin Hood themed wedding.
Damn it. I thought
You should have
the
got me a
tree
second
first.
I thought of the tree first. You got to follow it through, mate. You got to follow it through.
I somehow thought I'd got you there.
You definitely didn't.
Okay. Oh well.
It was a good try though. It's a good try, and it's a good game. And I got more than half, and that's
you came back.
a win in these games. That's a win.
It is. Yeah.
In these games.
Yeah.
I've got a song that we could go through.
Oh, nice.
Got a song that we could analyse. It's by Prince.
Is it one of the big ones?
It's not. It's not one that I knew.
Okay.
But it is. It's an interesting. Yeah, I had a good look at the lyrics. Oh. Very interesting. I was wondering if you could help us.
Yeah, I mean, you could find that with most of Prince's lyrics, I think.
So it's called. I mean, it's straight out of the gate. The song's called "Strange Relationship."
Okay. Nice, Prince.
Which I think we've been preoccupied with very bad relationships in this stream. We've focused a lot on the end of relationships.
The demise.
The demise. It is very hard to keep them going though.
True.
We all know. As I was saying to you, earlier by text, a lot of the double acts and sketch acts have fallen by the wayside, but we stick it out. Either through a false set of belief in each other or ourselves, I'm not sure. But
yeah, I'd say lack of other options.
lack of other options. I mean, mine's personally for love for you, but that's fine. You have your own reasons, and I don't
Yeah.
question them. I don't.
Potato, potato.
That's one
Who
of the things I
says
love about you. Is you don't
potato?
know how to say the word potato.
Who has ever said potato?
Well, certainly not me, and I'm not going to start anytime soon. But we have this song, "Strange Relationship." Starts off with just a bit of "oh oh." That's the intro.
Mhm.
Goes straight into the verse. He comes out and just says it straight verse. I guess you know me well. I don't like winter. Don't know what's happened there. He's just come out. I don't know whether he's just walked in and he's just been like, I know. I guess you know me well. I don't like winter, but I seem to get a kick out of doing you cold.
I missed the third line.
But I seem to get a kick out of doing you cold.
Okay. So, okay.
What's that about?
Well, he's obviously come into her apartment. She's got the heating turned up because she
Okay.
knows he doesn't like winter, but she's been sat in the refrigerator.
She's. This is a strange relationship. I can see. Okay, but he. So he's getting a kick out of doing. Did he ask her to sit in the fridge then? Because he's like, but I seem to get a kick out of doing you cold.
She's noticed that she's very intuitive.
Okay.
She's like, oh, the other day I got back from that snowstorm and we made love and he seemed to enjoy it more. So um, I'm going to empty out the fridge next time before he gets here. I mean, that she's got some issues too, I'll be honest. Like, there are easier ways to cool your body down probably in the middle of winter, but she's got a big
She's
fridge.
made.
What can I say?
Yeah, she's made. She's made a decision. So then he says, "Oh, what the hell? You always surrender," which seems to, connect to your theory. He's like, "Oh, now you're just getting in the fridge.
Mm.
Like we had one good night, and now you're getting in the fridge."
Practically live in there now.
Yeah, exactly. And then he says, "What's this strange relationship that we hold on to?" Which I think is fair
Yeah,
under the circumstances.
it's the
Uh,
only appropriate question at that stage.
at that stage, when you're sat there and she's in the fridge, yeah. And then he gets into the chorus, and it's baby. I just can't stand to see you happy. So she's obviously grinning her head off in the fridge.
Yeah.
More than that, I hate to see you sad. Conflicting.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he wants.
I mean, at this stage, is he like getting her out of the fridge, or is he just leaving her in there, or
He's just like, look, I want you neutral, emotionless, not
emotionless?
happy, not sad.
He just because really strange relationship. It's more like boring relationship. He just wants like nothing to happen. He just wants a.
Mate, you bloody put your missus in the fridge. See if that's a boring relationship.
But he doesn't want her to be happy or sad about it. He wants like I don't know. I'm not sure. So he says,
He just
"Honey,
wants level-headed. That's all.
level head. Honey, if you left me, I might do something rash. What's this strange relationship?" And then in brackets it just says ship, ship, ship. But I presume that's the echo out. I
Maybe.
don't think he's. I don't think he's saying I might leave on a boat.
Yeah. It sounds like some sort of like Seven Dwarfs song. Chirp, chirp, chirp.
Some sort of Seven Dwarfs song.
They're always singing the Seven Dwarfs.
They are. They do sing on the way to work, and for Prince, music was work, so that adds up.
And
Um,
life.
and life, and life. Right, and so he then says, it's the second verse. I came and took your love. I took your body, presumably out of the fridge.
Mm.
I took all the self-respect you ever had. I took you for a ride, and baby, I'm sorry. The more you love me, sugar, the more it makes me mad.
He hates it, yeah. So she kept her self-respect in the freezer, so he's obviously grabbed that too.
Yeah.
Um, what was the bit that made him mad?
The more you love me,
The
the
more, yeah,
more it makes me mad. He just really can't stand.
yeah.
Like you're right. He
Unfortunately,
just
she's read Steve Harvey's book, so
Act like a,
she's
act like
deploying all these tactics of love towards him, and Prince can't stand it. Prince needs to write a book. Prince needs to release a manual.
yeah.
His lovers know how to behave.
Lovers know how to behave. That isn't.
That's what
Would
it's
that be the
called. Yeah.
song? Lovers know how to behave. It's a good title for
Yeah.
it. I think probably this has been developed, hasn't it? Because she, like you say, she's probably got this Steve Harvey thing in her head.
Mm.
She keeps buying him like mustache wax
Mm-hmm.
and like bald shine.
Shining his head. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, my hair is amazing. Please
Yeah.
leave it. The mustache doesn't even. He's got like like at this stage, he's got a pencil mustache. I would
It's
imagine,
kind of, yeah.
sort of the 80s.
It's
got like
sparse as well. Yeah.
yeah. He doesn't need any mustache wax on that face. He then goes into a do refrain. I don't know whether that's. I mean, he does the chorus again about whether he's going to leave on a boat or not.
Yeah.
And then we get to the third verse, and he says, "Isn't it a shame this ain't a movie?" Obviously vying for soundtrack rights. This was probably pre-Purple Rain. Then you could rewrite my every line. I'll take all the blame, yo baby. I'm sorry, but I don't like the way you were, so I had to make you mine.
Oh, mate.
He's got some problems, hasn't he?
It's all over the place, isn't it? Yeah. Like, I guess the thing is, given the opportunity to rewrite his lines, would she want to? Or is she now?
I mean, imagine she'll be rewriting his lines to say, if she was going to, it would probably be the sort of quips that Steve Harvey uses on Family,
True.
Family Feud. I think it'll be the sort of thing where she'd be like, he'd say something amusing about their job. So every line that she rewrites, he's like, "Oh, you're a welder. Oh well, let's hope you stick the answers well."
Her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, does he say at the end that he loves her?
He says, no, he just says, "But I didn't like the way you were, so I had to make you mine."
Had to make you mine. It sounds like he's got Lima syndrome.
Oh, like
that might be what's happened.
Oh, okay. So he's sort of taken her hostage, put her in the fridge, and now he's sort of rewritten this whole story in his head, and he's just sort of absolute nonsense he's come out with. We've got the outro. The outro, he sort of questions everything about that's gone before. Really, he says,
Yeah.
I presume it's something to do with the fridge again. My strange relationship. Can't live with you. Can't live without you. What's it all about? He says. Do you know? And then in brackets it says strange relationship. I think you and I got a strange relationship. What's this strange relationship? And then he just says, yeah.
Amazing. It sounds like he fell into a bit of like 90s stand-up there.
Yeah. he went into an old routine of his.
Yeah, can't live without her.
Oh,
what's this all about?
Maybe he just accidentally wrote down. He was in a dressing room with Jim Davidson or somebody, and it accidentally switched. He picked up Jim Davidson's pad, and then they were going straight to the recording studio, and he was like, "Oh, I'll just have to read this off. What's that all about? Do you know?" and the sound engineer's like, "No,
this doesn't make any sense, Prince, even for you."
Well, I'm glad we cleared up that. That was. We always bring a fresh perspective, I think, to the song lyrics, and until people start realising that, they're not going to be watching the stream.
On that
note. But we do what we can.
We do what we can.
We do what we can. I've got a question, just a random question that I thought I should ask since it was Relationship Week.
Go
on. Which ship would you rather have been on? The Mayflower, the Beagle, or the Mary
Celeste? What was the middle one?
The HMS Beagle. The one with Charles Darwin on, where he went off. So
Where,
you could be on the Mayflower with the Puritans, leaving Portsmouth to land in Plymouth to land in Plymouth, or the HMS Beagle. You can go with Darwin and have a look at the Galapagos, or you can be on the Mary Celeste, which was famously abandoned.
where was it abandoned?
You don't know about the Mary Celeste?
I don't know about any of these things, Dan.
Oh, we're in for a treat then. I'll get a little history lesson.
I'll put your history sweater back on.
I better put but you're right. I need to look more sophisticated.
Somebody get that man his pipe.
There's no one here.
Okay.
With the Puritans from England, that was one of the first ships that got to the east coast of America. The HMS Beagle was the Darwin one where he went to do the. And then the Mary Celeste was a boat, and they just found it. It set sail from somewhere, I think, and they discovered the boat with no one on it.
But sunk.
No, it was on the sea, and then they found it, and there was no one on it, and the ship's log was had notes up until an hour before it was found. Like the food was still half warm, and they never found any of the people again.
This just happened. When did this happen?
This happened in the 16th century, I think, or the 19th century. It wasn't recent. It wasn't a COVID ship.
Oh, I was like, how have I missed this?
Okay, yeah, 19th century, sorry.
Okay.
So, yeah, the Mary Celeste, an American merchant brigantine that was discovered adrift and deserted in the Atlantic Ocean, December the 4th, 1872.
Amazing. Okay, well, the real answer has got to be the second one.
You'd be on the Beagle with old Chuck.
I come back, right?
Yeah, you're coming back. You're coming back. I mean, the question.
Not the Celeste.
Well, yeah, you don't know. Maybe they ended up getting transported to another dimension, mate. You might be.
Yeah, but I'm not a risk taker, Dan. You know me.
I'm not putting it all out there on the chance of a parallel dimension. I would.
Exactly. Yeah,
I wouldn't.
How much better could it even be? Right? I'm sure it was great. I'm fine. Big deal.
How much better could it? I reckon that's a question. I reckon it could be a lot better. Could be a lot worse. Could be a lot worse.
I've got a slightly nicer flat. You know what I say, Dan, and I always say it. Big whoopee.
Big whoopee. It's your new catchphrase. I'm glad we brought back Big Whoopee from last week's.
What ship are you going on?
I mean, for the chance.
Celeste.
I'm tempted by the Celeste. I'm tempted by all three. That's why I thought it was an interesting question.
I think the first one's a yawn fest, mate. I was tempted by the third, but got to go the second. Get to see some cool shit. And
I see. Yeah, I can. Yeah, you're gonna get some. You're gonna see stuff that no one's ever seen, and you're gonna draw a picture of it and bring it back, and everyone's gonna go, "Nah, mate, you didn't see that."
But at the same time, if I can be involved in your decision making, what I would like is for you to go on the third one, but make a pact with me beforehand that if you do go to another dimension, that you will somehow contact me just to let me know.
And what if it's better, or just generally to let you know?
No, just this is what happened. Turns out I wasn't murdered by pirates. Did actually end up in another dimension. It's fine. Just say it's fine. All the best.
It's fine. Probably can't do the stream next week.
Yeah, much the same, really.
I think. I mean, I would try and get you a message if I do end up in a parallel dimension. I will try somehow to contact you.
And that's all I can ask, Dan.
I'm all heart.
Okay, bye everyone.
We've been on a big journey.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about relationships. We've talked about a lot of failed relationships, but ours still goes strong. And I think that's the most important thing.
The two of us, yeah, we are the What's the most famously good relationship? We're the Obamas of sketch comedy.
Wow, that's a sketch comedy. It's true. I think we should put that on our profile.
Yeah.
I think it won't be misleading or mystifying to anybody. I think they'll look at us and say, "Of course they are."
It's not going to be mystifying until I actually do an Obama impression. And I'm like, whoa, where is it?
Yeah, and I think before you do that, we probably should stop streaming before we get thrown off Twitch.
Do you think?
Yeah,
I do a good Obama.
I'm still. Everyone's still reeling from the Cardi B, mate. I
That
don't
wasn't
think.
me. That was a recording of Cardi B. Oh my god.
Ooh.
It's been
Right?
great.
Yes, it has. It's been amazing. And we will be back here next week, same time, same place.
Maybe a different background.
Probably a different background, definitely a different word.
Because we're quirky and we keep things fun.
And that'll be the banner next week. So come back and join. Goodbye.
See yous.